Yo, I'm back. I'm making some food.
So I did it wrong.
It's too hot. So, a little tip when it comes to browning pork, especially if you're doing like 2 pounds of it, is that you want to do like half of the pork and get a nice like crispy, crusty brown on it. And then if you want to get like that nice texture, that flavor development, you're going to want to do it in batches, but who has fucking time for that? Not a damn one. Ow. Hot. All right, come on. I'm just gonna add some and try not to die. So, I'm gonna cut up some garlic. Now, I don't know who knows this and who doesn't know this, so I'm just gonna tell you. When you need to peel garlic, sometimes it's not as easy as this, right? You take it off. So you're gonna take your garlic, you're gonna put it on a hard surface. If your cutting board is like moving all around, because sometimes they get warped, put a towel under it, because then it won't like move like it just moved. Anyway, you're gonna take your knife, you're gonna put it down, like see flat side on the garlic, and you're gonna smash the shit out of it. Like he's like a fucking ex-boyfriend, you don't wanna fucking see any. So that's what you're gonna do with the garlic to get it peeled and started to smash. When you put in aromatics, you do want it to hit on hot oil because that's how, you know, it does its business. With ginger, to peel it, you take a spoon and you rub it against the outside and it takes off, like, I don't know if you call that skin or husk or whatever you want to call it. So it takes it right off just with a spoon. You can also freeze it. You can freeze ginger, but I noticed it gets kind of like fibrous, so it's kind of weird. But if you're just like throwing it in to whatever and cooking, it's not that big of a deal. But if you kind of want to have the structural integrity of the ginger, fresh is best. So I was supposed to do the first batch of pork and then add in the garlic, the ginger, and sugar. And I didn't, I just put the pork in. I ruined the dish, so, you know, I don't know if you guys know how to cook. Clearly I don't. So now we're gonna add the tomato paste. And I really like this tube of tomato paste is double concentrated, and then you can just put the cap back on and reuse it. Obviously reuse it within the time period, 2 weeks I think it is or something, it says somewhere, but use it within that. But back to the tomato paste at hand. When you're using paste, it's essentially raw, so you have to give it a little time to cook so that it doesn't have that like tinny raw tomato paste flavor. So we've added it and we're gonna let it like darken up a little bit before we add the rest of the stuff. All right, so I've added 2 sprigs of basil, and that's gonna get taken, I left them whole because that gets taken out at the end. I'm gonna add in a 1/4 cup of soy sauce, 1/3 cup of sambal. Ooh, oh, look at that, it's perfect. This is exactly 1/3 cup of sambal.
Really?
All right, so I've added the rest of the ingredients. It's gonna stew for a bit. And by a bit, I mean like an hour. So, see y'all in an hour. Candidates, there we go. All right, next tip. We've got the water boiling for the pasta. And I'm using bucatini. You can use anything really for this. You can do, if you have like packets of ramen, you can do that. But anyway, the water's boiling. And I'm gonna add the salt now as opposed to salting it before the water boils, because obviously salt water has a different boiling temperature. I'm making that up, I think. I don't know. I think so. Anyway, we're salting it with kosher salt. So kosher salt is a little less salty than regular salt, like sea salt or pink Himalayan or whatever. So you can add a little bit more. So the water is salted now. I'm going to add the bucatini and let it boil. Okay, so the noodles are done. So I'm going to, instead of straining the noodles, I'm going to take the noodles straight out of the pot and right over into the sauce. My mouth is literally watering. I can't even talk. Gross. Okay, I think we've got like all the noodles. Yeah. And then I'm gonna take just a little bit more of the pasta water, just a little bit more, and add it right onto it. So I'm gonna toss this, and then we are golden, baby. All right, now it's time to get fancy with it. So your pasta's best friend are tongs. So you're gonna grab a nice hunk of pasta, right, into a nice pretty shallow dish, and you're going to twirl it like so. Boom. I'm gonna take a basil leaf. How do I do this without, there we go. You don't need all that. Do that with it. I'm gonna wipe it off. I'm gonna take a picture.
Yeah.
I caught it. Holy shit. The best way to eat it is as sloppy as possible. As sloppy as possible.
What?
As sloppy as possible. He likes it. See you later. Just a little bit more of the pasta water. Just a little bit more. And add it right onto it. So I'm going to toss this. What could just be called the spill?
Spill your beans.
The spill came on.